Howdy, with this video I want to go over the Comp 2 side of the course. It's a totally separate course for Northeast State, so you're going to see a new class in D2L, and you're also going to get a completely different grade for on the Northeast State side. So keep that in mind. It's a literature-based writing course. I'm not going to read all this to you word for word. You can read faster than I can talk. But basically, we're just going to continue the work from Comp 1 and start writing about literature as opposed to topics I make up or whatever. And kind of generally, quite often dual enrollment students, it's fun just to be a little more familiar. This is kind of what you've been doing for the past 12 years, a little bit with writing, or at least in some of your classes. So you might find it a little bit familiar. For the textbook, it's a shorter 13th edition. I should write the word shorter in there in front of 13th edition. You can also use a shorter 12th edition if you want to. It's a lot cheaper. And sometimes when they go to a new edition of a textbook, they're not changing a whole lot. That's true of this particular textbook. So if you have 12th edition, that's fine. Also, I'm going to provide online links to the readings. If you just don't want to use the textbook at all, that's fine. Be careful. We're going to be reading some full-length plays that can produce a little bit of eye strain. So someone my age will probably buy the book. But if you're good reading on screen and you don't mind doing that, you're going to see the links there on page 8 of the syllabus. And also I've separated them out and posted them on the content page. So you can just go into D2L, click on that link, and go to the work. For grading, I'm going to go to the last page. If you want to keep track of your grades as I post them, this is a good way to do it. And you're going to see it's a pretty set course. 4 major essays, 1 on short fiction, 1 on drama, 1 on poetry. Then the final exam is going to be essay question based. I'm going to go over those questions in the next video. And along the way, we're going to be doing responses. One that's designed to make sure you're doing the reading, but also some of these we're going to get back into MLA formatting. We're only in MLA formatting for this course, so no more APA, at least not in this course. And of course, you're going to see embedded within these responses along the way are the peer reviews. Excuse me. So the responses are kind of the daily work in the course, and those are leading us to the major essays. There's 30 extra bonus points in the course, so that's where the extra credit is. That's by doing the work. And same grading scale as Comp 1, 90% is an A, 80% is a B, 70% is a C. And again, I'll adjust those grades to the Sullivan North scale at the end of the semester. We'll go back up here. All these policies, if you remember from Comp 1, they're going to look very familiar because they're almost exactly the same. Changed a couple of dates, but the policies are basically the same. Make sure you save your work. Make sure you let me know if there's concerns. I can't help you if you don't tell me what the problem is. Change the date for the last day to submit late work. Most of this is just copy and pasted, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun there. For the class schedule, let me make that bigger. Just like in Comp 1, when it says it's due that day. So for Monday the 19th, you're just watching some videos, this one in particular. Then on Wednesday, response number 1 comes due. I'll show you where that is in D2L here in a second. Then Friday, response number 2 is due. And you're going to notice maybe a big difference between this course and maybe other courses you've had at Sullivan North, that you're just doing the readings. It's just kind of expected. And then you're going to bring that knowledge from doing the readings and then bring it into the responses or into a discussion board or whatever we're going to be doing. And we might try different types of responses. Some of these are going to be written. We might get into a discussion board or two. We'll see how it goes there. But definitely, probably for Wednesday and Friday, fairly softball questions, getting you into the literature and some of the major ideas. Then next week with the responses 3 and 4, we'll probably get a little bit more into MLA formatting, quoting, short quotes, long quotes from the literature. Make sure we can remember how to do all that. Then we'll get into the first essay. Same process as Comp 1. You'll send some paragraphs. I'll make sure you're on the right track. You'll send the draft. We'll do the peer reviews. I'll look over the peer reviews, send those back to you. Revise it one more time and turn the final version in. We are not going to post these in LinkedIn. You can if you want to. It's your page now. But we're not going to do that as a part of the grade for the course. Make sure you're keeping up with the work, and things should go fairly well. One thing to kind of note, around Thanksgiving break, it gets a little hairy. I'm hoping For essay number 2, you're going to be doing a lot of work that weekend before Thanksgiving, so that over Thanksgiving you're not having to do much work. But the draft is coming due after the Thanksgiving break, so there's just no way around that. There's just not enough time to play with that too much. So again, hopefully we'll have that done before Thanksgiving, and we'll just come back and start with the peer reviews on Monday there. But I'm going to try and finish the class on the 16th of December. We'll see how that goes. I don't know a lot about Sutherland North's schedule or what you'll be doing that week. So if I send an email out saying, hey, see anything important going on that week that's going to cause us problems, be sure to let me know, right? All right. And again, you can see things are due on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday again. On D2L, you're going to see a separate course. It's right here, ENGL 1020, SN1. You'll see the theater at Epidaurus there. And just like before, you click on that. And same thing, the assignments are going to go, your submitted work's going to go under assignments. You're going to see most of the material under content. Actually, let me get in there as a student. Or else you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff there that you can't see. We'll get under the content there. Course documents, you see the class schedule. I've separated that out from the syllabus addendum if you just want to print that. There's also the links to the readings. And keep in mind when you see all this, we're not reading all of this. So like we're not reading the open book for this class, but hopefully you can just click on those links. There's the birthmark. And if you don't want the textbook, those links hopefully should work. As we start going through the class, you notice response number 1's due on Wednesday, and that should be located here under responses for SN1. And what you're generally going to find with the responses is a lecture, hopefully fairly short. Some of this is stuff you might have gone over in your junior English class, which was supposed to be American literature, right? But you're going to see hopefully a fairly short lecture, kind of combining a little bit of writing, art, history, kind of wrapping our heads around certain ideas there. And then at the bottom of the lecture, and sometimes you'll see embedded videos as well. I try to keep those short so you don't all of a sudden, not at the end thinking, I was almost over, and all of a sudden there's a 30-minute video. Try to keep those videos pretty short. But at the very end, you'll see prompts for response number 1. Make sure you read those carefully. Those requirements are going to change with each response. So this one, I'm not even asking you to quote. You can if you want to. But certainly next week, we're going to ask you to do a long quote, short quote, put the work on a works cited page, and that kind of fun stuff. Make sure we're ready for MLA formatting when we get to the first major essay. When you see a prompt, you don't have to answer every question within a prompt. If you get to these first 3 questions and you got your 150 words, then you're looking to get out of the response, right? You're done with that one. Some of these prompts are a little bit different. Some can be a little more philosophical. Others can be maybe a little more direct. It kind of depends what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to write about. But you'll definitely see I like to use art and architecture and things like that within these videos. Within these lectures. But you'll do that response, put it into the assignments Dropbox, and that's how you're going to submit work, just like Comp 1. We're probably going to end up doing 1 or 2 discussion boards along the way. They're right here under discussions. And of course, grades are in the same place they've always been. So nothing new under the sun there. If you have any questions, if you can't find something, quite often students forget that the Comp 2 is a whole separate course and they're clicking, whether they've clicked all semester on the Comp 1 course with that piece of art. Make sure you're in Comp 2. But other than that, if you have questions, be sure to let me know. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.